name is Heather Schmidt. I am going to just give you a small background. I was baptized when I was 2 years old. I was baptized Catholic. Throughout my childhood, I always grew up going to churches with friends, but I never really stayed consistent going to a church or even a member of a church. But I always knew God was there. At the age of 16, that's when I started smoking marijuana, smoking cigarettes, partying and drinking with friends. Around the age of 18, things got really chaotic. I started getting to major drugs, considering ecstasy. I was still smoking weed. Drinking was getting even worse. It seemed like that's all I could lean on was my friends and drugs, and the next week and coming over and figuring out, what are we gonna do? How am I gonna get my next high, basically? During those times, I stayed consistent going to school, graduated high school. I was a straight A student. I went to cosmetology school, graduated with that. I even went to college during those times, still making great grades, but still having a bad addiction of bad relationships, drinking, and just getting into a lot of chaos. Because of that, I got into a lot of abusive physical relationships, and those relationships, I knew they were wrong, and I had always told myself that that wasn't going to be me, and I would never allow myself to be hit by a man, and I did. One relationship was so bad that I physically was beaten in a church parking lot. That same night, I went home and I even punched my mom in the face going after this guy because he had hit me. It brought me to a point where I didn't know what to do. I was literally scared for my life. I told my mom, this is so-and-so's information. If something happens to me, you have all of the information. I still stayed with him. I was scared. This went on for, I think, 4.5, almost 5 years of doing the same thing over and over. And finally one day, I surrendered. I couldn't take it anymore. I packed up all of my stuff and I ran to a friend's house. I left my car with him. I left my apartment with him. I didn't really care about anything. I let it all go. I didn't care. I just knew I needed to save myself. Even after that relationship, I still went into drugs, and ecstasy was my main drug. And I look back now after being saved, and that drug is a love drug. I was searching for love in all of the wrong places. I was searching for love through my mom, through my dad, through my family, through friends, through men. Man after man, relationship after relationship of just doing horrible things, not knowing what true love was. And the only person that has the love that I was yearning for was God. And I didn't realize that until this year of September 7th when I was baptized. So much has happened from the age of 18 to the age of 33 that it's only literally by the grace of God that I'm still here. And I am so lucky that I have the opportunity to sit back and think about my past and think about the relationships and the drugs and how many times God has saved me through car accidents. I got 2 DWIs because I was just a disaster. He's always been there. And I never thought that I would be that person. If you looked at me, you wouldn't have seen any of that. I put on a pretty good show. So I had my family that thought that I was just a princess. You know, I went to school, I graduated, I went to college, I graduated, top of the class, played sports. I had dreams, I had visions, and I always stayed consistent doing that, but on the inside, I was a disaster. Finally, I met my husband, and things started changing. I let go of the ecstasy, I let go of the hard partying, but I still smoked weed. Then when we were together, we moved out to Troy. That's when I got my second DWI, and I realized I'm in college. I'm about ready to graduate. What am I doing? You're a mess. If you get another DWI, everything that you've worked hard for is going to literally go down the drain. And at that point, I realized I can't do this anymore. Like, this is dumb. So, got my second DWI, went on probation. That's when I finally gave up smoking weed. That was the last drug that I had. Until this day, it's been almost 7 years that I've been free from drugs. About 4 months ago, I gave up drinking too, because I realized that who I was when I was drinking wasn't me. It wasn't Heather. Obviously, I have an addictive personality. So when I would drink, I would have a beer, a shot, and that shot would lead to 10, 11 shots maybe, and I would literally just black out every single time that I drank. And I would wake up wondering, is my fiance, is he laying next to me? Did we fight? Was I okay? Was I good? Was I bad? I didn't really want to wake up because I didn't know how that night ended. And finally one day I just asked him, like, what is the percentage rate of me being nice Heather or mean Heather? I go, I give myself 50% chance of nice and bad. He said, well, about 75. I said, okay, well, I think I'm done drinking. I don't think he understands fully the extent of the level where I am with the Lord, but I have to give up things in order to do God's will, and he has taken me places. And this is one of the last things that I realized, that I can keep control of myself as a whole. I no longer have the drugs. I no longer have the abusive relationships. I no longer have the drinking. I don't have the strongholds tearing me down. I have full power and capability of myself. And anytime that I go through a struggle, all I have to do is lean in the Lord and know that he is going to be my strength. He is the only one that is going to take care of everything. Yes, I can run to my mom. Yes, I can run to my grandma. Yes, I can run to my husband. Yes, I can run to my best friend. But the only person that has the correct and the right answer is God. So 3 years ago, I turned 30 years old. I felt fat, I felt ugly, I was turning 30, I wanted to wear a maxi dress, and every maxi dress that I put on, I didn't like. So at that point, I said, I'm done. I've got to start working out, I've got to do something. I had quit cigarettes that January, gained 16 pounds in 8 months. I'm short, I'm 5 foot nothing. I wasn't going to walk around looking like a Oompa Loompa. So I knew things had to change. I was at a women's networking group, and a girl named Cassie came in, and she was the owner of Whole Peace Fitness, and she was giving away a punch card for 6 sessions at her fitness studio. And when they were doing the drawing, I was like, pick me, pick me, pick me. Just call my name, just call my name. Ultimately, that's where God's plan started. I won the 6 free passes to the studio. Since then, the first day that I worked out with Cassie was August 12th of 2013. January of 2014, which was January 16th, she got me back into church. I went to Faith Church, and the first time that I went there, we were worshiping the Lord, and I just started bawling my eyes out. I didn't know what was going on. I was bawling. I was just raising my hands, and I was crying. And Cassie just looked over. She goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I don't know what's going on." And she's just smiling in my face like everything's all right. I left, and I knew I had to do more. I wanted to read more about God. I wanted to read devotionals. I wanted to know more. So I took my addictive personality from all of the bad things and put it into the good things of the Lord and the Bible. I did Joyce Meyer's 30-day challenge. And ever since then, I've been to every single one of her conferences. I get up every morning. I do my prayer time for about an hour, and I pray for people, and I read the Bible, and I do my devotionals. And I went to see Cassie to get a physical change, but ultimately I was changing physically. Mentally, I had a spiritual mentor just doing amazing things in my life for me, and ultimately, spiritually, I was changed. She was the one that got me back into church. She was there the day that I was reborn, and this year, September 7th, I was baptized at Grace Church. She was the only person there. That literally was the Holy Spirit speaking to me that day. I knew I wanted to be baptized. I just didn't know when or where. And that day we went to church for communion, and they had just randomly said, "We're doing baptism after church." And my heart just started pounding. And I'm like, oh my, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. God, is this my sign that I need to go ahead and get baptized? And we kept worshiping and communion, and it just, every time I thought about it, it just kept beating, and we're leaving, and I was just gonna walk out. I was scared to even tell Cassie, like, I think I need to go get baptized. And I kept walking, and I go, so, how often do they do these baptisms? Do they do it like once a month or whatever? She's like, well, they don't ever really do them on communion night. She goes, why? I go, I think I want to get baptized. And she goes, are you serious? And I said, yeah. She goes, okay. And I said, well, I have to go to the bathroom. She goes, no, because then you're going to come out and you're going to get out of it. And I said, no, I'm not. Like, we're going to do this. So I got baptized that night, and I just got done reading the book Unshakable by John Eckert. He's an amazing pastor in Illinois, and it's talking about the demonic spirits of pride and lust and addiction and perversion, and it's about all these spirits that live inside of us, and being released from those and getting to the root of all of our problems. I felt really released. I was working on myself, and I wanted to be released from all of those things. I wanted to be a better person. And that night that we left Grace Church, we were in the parking lot and we were standing underneath the big arch that was all lit up. And I looked up and there were probably 13 to 20, they seriously looked like white doves. They were just flying and they were just right over us. And Cassie goes, I think those are your spirits. I think those are your spirits that are leaving you, your demonic spirits that you have been getting released from. I said, I really feel that's what's going on. That was 2 months ago. In the last 2 months of my life of just being baptized, my world has been rocked. I have been tested. I have been fired from a job. I got a job. Marriage needs some work. I lost my grandpa. And now I'm getting ready to go into business with my best friend Cassie with Whole Peace Journey. It is a fitness ministry. We are reaching out to God's daughters to get them to have a wholeness makeover with their spirit, mind, and body. And what God did 3 years ago, bringing Cassie into my life, has brought me to this day to help us serve the women. I went there for a physical change, mental and spiritual, but now we are going to change women's lives spiritually, mentally, and physically. I don't know where I would be if my life did not change 3 years ago. I know I would not be the person I am here sitting today. I'm still independent and I'm working on that. I'm trying to let God take control. But I had a mouth of a sailor. I smoked, I drank, I did drugs. I was in and out of relationships. My husband got a handful of a hot mess with me. He's been through the thick and the thin. It's very hard for him to understand that the old me is gone and the new me is here, and the old person is not coming back. The new person is here and she is going to stay. And sometimes things have to change and you have to let go of people. God will weed those people out. Not everybody's allowed in your boat. You can't allow people in your boat that are going to tilt it this way and tilt it that way, tilt it forward or backwards. You need people to hold you there, to keep you solid. You need your spiritual mentors, your pastors, your church family, your community to hold you solid, because things are going to get rough. And it's only because He knows that you can handle it. He knows that you can conquer it. He knows that you're a warrior. You're here for a purpose, a mission, a calling, and only He knows what that is. All we have to do is just surrender ourselves and say, yes, Lord, do whatever you want to do with me. I've stepped out and quit an insurance industry for 5 years. Then I got fired from a job that I thought God was calling me to. I didn't know what was going on. I got out of the bar industry because it was getting so uncomfortable there, but now I'm back to serving the Lord. I'm not bartending, I'm just serving the Lord because I have a servant's heart. He wants me to serve His people. I'm not going to be there for a long time, but there's a reason why He has me at this restaurant, to reach all of these young girls. I was there. I was there. I see me and all of those girls, and I just have to stand firm and show them who God is. I know that I can't be the one preaching to them because I wouldn't listen to it then. I just have to be myself and let the light shine through to all of these people. I have to let the light shine through to every mean person at the tables that I'm serving. If they're angry, you just smile and you just give them the light. I know I'm missing so much. God is He's amazing. Once you get there, just take the time to get to know Him. Take your quiet time and just receive His love. He will speak to you. He will love on you. He will hold you. He will always be there. He is a best friend. He's sitting in the car next to me. He's sitting right here. He's always with you. Don't ever think that He is not around, because He is always there. He was even there during my abusive relationships. When I got beat in a church parking lot, I went back and He was there. When I was in a major car accident, He was there. Whenever I was almost in another car accident, He was there. If He wasn't there, I wouldn't be here to this day. And I know that I am here for my family, and I'm here for my friends, and I'm here for somebody out there. Just know that He is there. And whatever you're going through, you will overcome it. Just lean on him, and he will hold you, and he will love you. And I think that's it.